If your legs ache, swell, cramp at night, or go numb when you sit for too long, and your doctor's answer was compression stockings, there is something important you need to hear. Compression stockings do not fix your circulation. They squeeze the fluid out of your legs while you are wearing them. And the moment you take them off, the fluid returns. Because the reason it is pooling in the first place has not changed, not even slightly. What compression stockings do is treat the puddle, without ever fixing the leak. And if that is all you have been given, the underlying problem has been progressing quietly, underneath the surface, the entire time you have been wearing them. This video is going to show you what is actually happening inside your legs, why the standard treatments most seniors receive only mask the symptoms, and yours, most importantly, what actually repairs the damage. Because poor leg circulation is not a life sentence. It is a fixable biological breakdown, and the research proving that has existed for years. Stay with me, because what we are going to cover in the next few minutes could change the way your legs feel by this time next month. Dorothy was 71 years old when her legs first started to change. It began with something small, a heaviness in her calves by mid-afternoon, then the swelling. By evening, her ankles were puffy enough that her shoes barely fit. Then came the cramping, those deep, wrenching cramps at 2 in the morning that jolted her out of sleep and left her sitting on the edge of the bed, gripping her leg, waiting for it to pass. She told her doctor. He examined her and said it was her circulation, normal for her age. He handed her compression stockings and sent her home. Dorothy wore them every day for 2 years. She did everything right. And still, the heaviness came back each afternoon. The cramping returned most nights. The swelling never fully resolved. And her world, quietly and without her fully noticing it, got smaller. She stopped the long walks. She skipped events that required too much standing. She started planning her days around where she could sit down. Dorothy was not failing. She was suffering from something real, and she was never given a real explanation for why the stockings weren't working. If that story sounds familiar, what comes next is for you. The medical system gave Dorothy a tool designed to manage a symptom. Nobody ever explained to her what was causing the symptom, or that the cause was something she could actually address. If your legs ache, swell, or cramp, type legs in the comments right now. You are not alone in this. And stay with us, because what comes next is what Dorothy was never told. The real cause. To understand how to repair leg circulation, you first need to understand what is actually breaking down. There are 2 systems failing at once in most seniors with this problem. The first, your arteries are starved of nitric oxide. Your arteries are not rigid pipes. They are living tissue, lined with cells that produce a molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide tells the smooth muscle wrapped around your arteries to relax, to widen, so that blood can flow freely down into your legs, your feet, your toes. After age 60, nitric oxide production drops by more than 50% in most adults. The arteries stiffen, they narrow. Blood that once moved freely is now pushing through vessels that no longer cooperate. That is why your feet are cold. That is why your legs ache when you walk. That is why you feel that tight, pressured heaviness by the afternoon. Doctors call this peripheral artery disease. They estimate 1 in 3 adults over 70 have it, and most do not know. The second, your venous valves are giving out. Inside the veins of your legs are tiny one-way valves, like small trapdoors, designed to push blood back up toward your heart against gravity. When those valves weaken, blood pools. It sits in your lower legs and feet. It causes the swelling, the heaviness, and that skin that begins to look tight and dark below the knee. Compression stockings address the pooling. They push the fluid back temporarily. They do nothing for the nitric oxide. They do nothing for the valves. The moment the stocking comes off, the body returns to exactly the state it was in before. That is not a failure on your part. That is a fundamental limitation of the treatment, one that most patients are never told about. Here is what actually repairs the damage. 5 steps, each one backed by clinical research, each one starting today. The 5-step repair protocol. Step 1. The nitric oxide diet. Start tomorrow morning. Nitric oxide production begins in the mouth, through bacteria on the tongue that convert dietary nitrates into nitric oxide. Those nitrates come from specific foods: beets, arugula, spinach, and dark leafy greens. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that 8 ounces of beet juice daily improved blood flow to the legs measurably within 90 minutes of consumption. After 6 weeks, participants showed improved ankle brachial scores, the gold standard clinical test for leg circulation. Here is the detail almost no one mentions. Do not use antibacterial mouthwash before eating these foods. Nitric oxide conversion depends on specific bacteria on the tongue. Antibacterial mouthwash kills them. If you rinse before breakfast, the beet juice does almost nothing. Start tomorrow morning. 8 ounces of beet juice or a handful of arugula added to breakfast. Skip the mouthwash before eating. The arteries begin responding within days. But here is the part almost no one talks about, and it makes step 2 more powerful than any statin ever could. Step 2. The calf pump. 3 minutes. Twice a day. Your calves are sometimes called the second heart of the body. Every time the calf muscles contract, they squeeze the veins and push blood back up toward the heart, working alongside those weakening venous valves. Most seniors with poor circulation have also reduced how much they move. The calf pump is barely being used. Blood sits, valves weaken further, swelling worsens. It becomes a downward spiral. Here is how to reverse it. While seated in a kitchen chair, raise both heels off the floor until you are on the balls of your feet. Hold for 2 seconds at the top. Lower slowly over 3 full seconds. Repeat 20 times. Do this twice a day, once in the morning, once in the mid-afternoon. 3 minutes total. A study following adults aged 65 to 80 with confirmed venous insufficiency found that seated calf raises done twice daily reduced evening ankle swelling by 38% in just 8 weeks. The comparison group, who had been told to wear compression stockings, showed no change. 38% improvement. 8 weeks, a kitchen chair, no prescription required. Step 3 surprises almost everyone because it is not about what you drink, it is about when. Step 3. Time your hydration. Blood is thickest in the morning. Blood is approximately 90% water. When you are even mildly dehydrated, and most adults over 65 are chronically, silently dehydrated, blood thickens. Thick blood moves slowly. Slow blood pools. Every symptom of poor circulation intensifies. The timing matters more than the total amount you drink. Blood is at its thickest first thing in the morning after hours without fluid. If the first thing you reach for is coffee, you are making already thick blood even thicker. Caffeine is a mild diuretic that pulls fluid out before your vessels have opened up. The fix is simple. Drink 12 ounces of plain water before anything else. Before coffee, before food, within 5 minutes of waking. And in the evening, even a single glass of wine dehydrates your blood overnight. This is why legs often feel heaviest first thing in the morning after a drink the night before. That is not coincidence. That is chemistry. Step 4 goes against what most doctors recommend for leg pain, and the research shows it works better. Step 4. Short walking intervals, not one long walk. If your doctor told you to walk 30 minutes a day, that advice is not wrong. It is incomplete. 3 10-minute walking intervals produce greater circulatory benefit than one continuous 30-minute walk. Here is why. Every time you begin walking, your muscles signal that they need more blood. Your body responds with a surge of nitric oxide, causing the arteries to dilate and rush blood into the legs. That dilation is most powerful at the very start of movement. One continuous walk triggers one surge. 3 separate intervals trigger 3. 3 rounds of arterial training spread through the day. Set a gentle reminder at 9 a.m., noon, and 3 p.m. Walk for 10 minutes each time. Around the house, to the end of the driveway, around the garden. Distance does not matter in the early weeks, the repetition does. And now, step 5, the one that surprises people most. One of the most powerful on this list, and the one almost nobody does. Step 5, contrast hydrotherapy, a 4-minute vascular workout. Think of your blood vessels not as pipes, but as muscles. Muscles get stronger when they are exercised. When they are never challenged, they weaken and become unresponsive. The smooth muscle lining your arteries and veins works the same way. Contrast hydrotherapy exercises it directly, causing the vessels to repeatedly dilate and constrict, training them to respond the way they are supposed to. Here is the method. In the shower, direct warm water at your lower legs and feet for 30 seconds. Switch to cool water, noticeably cool, not ice cold, for 30 seconds. Alternate 4 times. End on cool. 4 minutes, once a day. Warm water causes the vessels to dilate and fill with blood. Cool water causes them to constrict and push blood back toward the heart. Done repeatedly, this trains the vascular smooth muscle in a way no compression stocking and no medication can replicate. A study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology found that daily contrast hydrotherapy improved peripheral circulation scores by 29% in adults with chronic venous insufficiency after just 4 weeks. Remember Dorothy? After 2 years of compression stockings, her circulation had deteriorated to the point where a wound appeared on her left foot that would not heal. She was referred to a vascular specialist. The prognosis was serious. But before any procedure was scheduled, her new specialist put her on a structured protocol, the same 5 steps in this video. Beet juice every morning, calf pumps twice a day, water before coffee, 3 short walks, 4 minutes of contrast in the shower. Within 6 weeks, the wound on her foot had closed. Within 3 months, her circulation scores had improved enough that the surgical referral was taken off the table entirely. Dorothy is now 73. She walks a mile most mornings, on her own, in her own neighborhood, with her shoes back on properly. She told her specialist, "Nobody ever explained any of this to me. I just thought I had to live with it." You do not have to live with it. Compression stockings are not the answer. They were never designed to be. They are a management tool for a problem that, in many cases, can actually be repaired. The 5 steps in this video address the root causes directly: the collapsed nitric oxide production, the weakened venous valves, the thickened morning blood, the undertrained vascular smooth muscle. This is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about starting. Tomorrow morning, 12 ounces of water before coffee, beet juice or arugula with breakfast, 20 calf raises at 9 a.m. in a kitchen chair, a 10-minute walk before lunch, 4 minutes of contrast in the shower tonight. That is all. That is where the repair begins. Your legs have carried you for decades. Give them what they need to keep going. If you are committing to trying even one of these steps this week, type "repaired" in the comments and share this with someone whose legs have been slowing them down. The next life this helps could be someone you love. Subscribe and hit the bell.